Well, I'm Candace Monacelli, a meteorologist, morning meteorologist at Fox 17 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So we're going to answer some questions. And first, we have Olivia from Lincoln View Elementary in Van Wert. She wants to know, what is the hardest part of your job and do you enjoy it? I would say the hardest part of my job is learning the science, putting all the science together and figuring out what you need to do for a forecast. We make every forecast every morning. I have almost 30 tabs open on my computer, look at a bunch of different models, and you need to put it together. So that's one of the hardest parts, but it's also one of the most fun parts to put together, learn the science of what's happened in the atmosphere on the day of, or that weekend of, or that week of, and give it to our viewers. So it makes it a little challenging, but also fun at the same time to kind of dig into the science a little bit each and every day. Addie from Academy Elementary in Cincinnati wrote, "Dear NewsDepth, I only have one question. When they do the weather, does your director tell you what to say, or do you go to a lab to predict the weather and then remember and say it? Thanks for answering." Well, we definitely don't get told what to say. We don't have a script though. So that's the interesting part, is everything is what we call ad lib. We kind of just talk our way through it, and we use the pictures that you see on air of our weather graphics. That's our weather story. And we use that as our quote unquote script. So we use the pictures and talk from the pictures and describe what's going on. Danny from Buckeye Intermediate in Medina wants to know, how could you possibly predict the weather days before? Great question. Definitely can be a challenge. Really, we focus on the next 3 days. 7 days out, we really just see where the trend is going. And there's a difference between forecasting weather and climatology. Climatology looks at things more as a whole. Weather forecasting zones in on those first couple days and really that week. So really within the first 3 days, we're pretty accurate, pretty much know what's going on. We look at all different models, all different things that are happening in the atmosphere and put together that forecast. So it does seem difficult. It is difficult, but we make it happen and give it to you guys as simple as we can so you can plan out your day. Charles from Chardon Hills in Euclid wrote, "Dear NewsDepth, if I was to ask a meteorologist about their job, first, I would say, have you ever got stuck in a storm or worse? Next, I would ask them if their job is fun." So getting stuck in a storm can be challenging and obviously very scary. We don't want to do that, but we do go outside to report on what's happened after a storm goes through. So a lot of times that deals with severe weather or intense winter weather coverage. So sometimes, mostly in the winter, you can be out in the elements. During severe weather coverage, you really want to wait till things are safe and afterwards, and more so look at the damage that was left behind. Now, personally, I love sitting on a front porch and watching a thunderstorm come through safely, but that's when I'm not at the office. So just depends on the day, depends on the setup, but it's another element of our job. Makes it different and interesting every single day, and it really is truly fun.